Don't ever nap under a fig tree in Australia. Why? Because this little red man will drain your blood and swallow you whole. In today's episode of Unexplained, let's take a look at the scariest and most disturbing mythical creatures of folklore. Yara-Ma-Yha-Who, Australia. Yara-Ma-Yha-Who is an aboriginal mythological dwarf. The monster resembles a red frog-like man with an enormous head, a large mouth, and no teeth. That's not scary. How could it drink blood if it didn't have any teeth? Sadly for its prey, the frog monster has bloodsuckers on its hands and feet. When an unsuspecting traveler falls asleep under the tree, it ambushes and uses its suckers to drain the victim's blood and swallows the person whole. After this hearty meal, it drinks some water, takes a nap, and throws up the victim, leaving them shorter than before. This process is repeated several times until the person is transformed into a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who. Mongolian Death Worm, Mongolia. Deep within the Gobi Desert lies a monster, a 5-foot sandworm. The Mongolian Death Worm looks like an intestine filled with blood, and it travels underground, resurfacing only during the wet months of June and July. What makes this monster so terrifying? Aside from its gruesome appearance, this monster has the ability to kill from a distance by spewing corrosive yellow saliva and generating an electric discharge like an eel. If that isn't spooky enough, get this. This worm will lay eggs inside its prey's intestines, which will eventually turn the prey into the same shade of red as the creature. Alpdruck, Germany. Have you ever woken up with a heavy chest and a paralyzed body, staring at demons dancing in front of you? This is the work of the Alpdruck, a tiny goat-like demon. Although it may not appear to be frightening, this German shape-shifting demon is the stuff of nightmares. Legend has it that an Alp sits on the chest of a sleeper, becoming heavier and heavier, until the crushing weight of the demon paralyzes the terrified and breathless dreamer. This nightmare monster feeds on the dreamer's fear and thrives in the dead of night. You better keep that nightlight on to ward off the Alp and have a good night's sleep. Black Annis, England. The female counterpart to the Boogeyman, Black Annis is a blue witch of England folklore. She is known for her pale blue grotesque face, iron claws, and her love for humans, but not the good kind. Black Annis craves human flesh, particularly children. You can always hear Black Annis's haunting wails and screeches echoing for miles before you see her. She goes out at night to capture and prey on unsuspecting children. But that's not all. After the feast, she tans the skin of her victims and wraps it around her waist like a skirt. Wendigo, Native American. Wendigos weren't always monsters. Once upon a time, they were just regular humans like you and me. However, as a result of their sins, they turned into flesh-eating savages. Men who succumb to greed are cursed and transformed into Wendigos, a creature with glowing red eyes, long yellowed fur, and overly long tongues. They are eternally damned to roam the lands with an ice-cold heart and an insatiable appetite for human flesh. If there is nothing left to eat, the coldness of its heart spreads, and the monster starves to death. The shadows are watching. Stay tuned for more spine-tingling stories by subscribing now.